And she kept telling us, "Oh, I'll be in there tomorrow. Oh, I'll be in there tomorrow. Oh, I'll be in there next."
I did try to take in a money order. Miss Green told me she wouldn't accept it.
According to the plaintiff, which they have cameras all throughout that apartment complex.
I have a video recording if that'll work.
All right, I want to welcome both parties to the McLennan County Justice.
Y'all, before we get started, let's just go ahead and set the stage like we like to do. So, I haven't seen this, of course, but apparently this is going to be a case of he said, she said. When a tenant's excuses face off against the landlord's cold, hard proof in courtroom drama, and the judge isn't here for it, apparently. But it looks like both sides brought their A game for this case, or at least their version of the truth. So what we're trying to understand is, did the tenant really try to pay, or is this just another round of rent dodging, as we a lot of times see that people like to do? So without further ado, let's just get back into it. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype.
The Peace Court Precinct 2 remote proceedings. I'm Judge James Lee.
In today's case, she hasn't paid rent since July, but somehow thinks a $224 credit covers everything. 3 months later, she's in eviction court, calm, confident, and completely wrong. The landlord's got receipts, the judge has got patience, for now. And once the math starts rolling, things get real uncomfortable.
Learn to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right. I already know this is a tax credit property,
Yes, sir.
so this is the CARES Act applies. So what's going to happen is I'm going to give you, Ms. Green, the opportunity to speak first. It's up to you to provide proof to me that the defendant defaulted in terms of release and that you did everything you were legally supposed to do according to the property code. Then once you're through, I'm going to give you, Ms. Smith, Ms. Brown, sorry, Ms. Brown, the opportunity to defend yourself. And it's going to be up to you to provide proof to me that you should not be evicted based on the complaint of non-payment of rent. Now, it's going to be a little respect factor when we do this today. Ms. Green's going to speak first. And so you, Ms. Brown, you're not going to interrupt her while she's speaking, okay?
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. And then afterwards, you're going to defend yourself. And while you're speaking, Ms. Green is not going to interrupt you. All right, Ms. Green?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Green, you can proceed on with the case against the defendant.
Okay. Well, I want to start out by saying Miss Brown has done her recertification, and as of July of 2025, she has not paid rent since that moment. And she actually took over this lease in June of 2024.
Oh my goodness.
Her grandmother was originally in the unit, and the grandmother removed herself from the unit, and Ms. Brown actually took over, and I have submitted the lease amendment where she took over the unit as of June of 2024. And at that point, I wasn't the manager here. There were other issues that took place with the previous manager that I cannot actually verify or speak on. So all of my
So hold on, y'all. Because the new information that's been introduced now, what is showing is apparently, allegedly, she's on subsidized housing. So already she's on subsidized housing. Because, and also what is showing her monthly rent rate is every month is $452, which is clearly got to be subsidized housing, right? So it looks like apparently she's been owing from August to October, and the total balance due apparently is allegedly $1,332 plus the court fees. So apparently the tenant claims corporate told her she only owed $228 for August and says the manager refused to accept partial payment. Landlord says no rent has been paid since July. So it looks like this is possibly Section 8 involved. Possibly.
paperwork and documents are moving forward as of 2025, starting July of 2025, solely to her not paying her rent.
Okay. She
So
is subsidized housing. So what is she responsible for as monthly rent?
she is responsible for 400, I'm sorry, should have my glasses on,
Oh my goodness.
$452 monthly.
Goodness gracious. This looks crazy. Hold on. This profile. Hold on, wait a second. Goodness gracious. What's going on? That looks wild.
As of, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As of August 1st, that is what she was responsible for. I'm sorry, I said July, but it's actually August 1st that she was responsible for that because we gave her credit in July. Since this situation has taken place, she spoke with my regional manager, and my regional manager took a look at her ledger and saw that she was due a credit for July. So starting August, September, October, she has not paid rent at that point.
Okay, your petition state that she didn't pay rent for July, but this was after you found this information afterwards.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. So we gave her credit to try to assist her. I mean, because she's a good resident. So she spoke with my RPM, and my regional manager took a look at her account and made her aware that, okay, July, we understand, we have your credit. You don't have to pay, you didn't have to pay July's rent, but as of August, you do owe the 452 as of August.
Okay. So so you're amending your petition to just looking for August through October.
October. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do is just okay. So I got the amendment. Okay. All right. So notice to vacate. You indicate that it was placed inside of the unit. Tell me a little bit more about that. How was it placed inside of the unit?
Well, we actually took it to the unit and handed it to who actually answered the door that was of age.
Okay, so you actually personally gave it to someone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you said placed inside of the unit. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, when
on
I
your.
walk over there, I have to do everything before I go over there. So as I was walking over there, yeah, when they answer the door, okay, if they don't answer the door, I'm definitely going to place it inside the unit. But that's kind of what we have to fill out all that out before we get over there. So.
I was referring to your petition, not the notice to vacate. Your
Oh, I'm
petition,
sorry.
yeah. So that's why I hadn't even got to the notice to vacate. But so pretty much
Gotcha.
you're amending petition not only for the rent, but also how the notice was delivered, because that's what you typed in
Okay.
on your petition, that it was posted on the inside of the unit, but it was actually handed to someone. Was that
Yes.
person the age of 16 years of age?
Yes, it was Miss Brown.
Okay, it was actually Miss Brown that you handed it to.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
person delivered. All right. And that was done on the 10th of August.
Yes. Let me.
That was a 30-day notice to vacate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you filed several documents with me, and then I have a copy of the 30-day notice to vacate. It's dated August 15th, but you gave it to her on the 10th.
Yes, sir. And the reason why is because we were actually in communication with Miss Brown. Like I say, she's a good resident. And she kept telling us, oh, I'll be in there tomorrow. Oh, I'll be in there tomorrow. Oh, I'll be in there next week. Oh, I'll be in there, and we were steady trying to work with her. And it just got to the point where, okay, I have to go forward. I have to move forward, Miss Brown. I can't continue to get those promises from you and you're not abiding your word.
So you gave her another notice on the 19th.
Little sidebar. I kind of feel like I have a missed opportunity now because I already made the thumbnail for the video. I haven't seen it, but I already just, screenshot it, made the thumbnail. So funny enough, I actually thought that it was in regards to those two women. So I thought they were the tenants. So because the real tenant, I'm gonna be honest, like she has a clickbaitable face. So I feel like I missed an opportunity. That's I'm gonna lose out on some views by not putting her, because she has definitely got the shock value going. But I digress. Let's get back into it.
Of
The 10-day
September.
notice?
Yeah, so you gave her a 30-day notice, and you gave her a 10-day notice, letting her know that she still not in compliance. Is that what
Yes,
it
sir.
is?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Okay, you filed a ledger. That show the tenant. It's been with you
Yes,
for a while, as you stated under oath, and it shows the transactions that the tenant made all the way
yes,
up until June. It does not indicate, as you mentioned, the credits that the tenant received for the
yes,
months prior to August. Okay, all right. Okay, so you also provided me with proof that she's not in the military and a lease. And about this is the recertification. Okay, all
yes,
right.
sir.
Okay, let me give the tenant
There we
the
go.
opportunity to defend herself. Um, and before I get started, to your knowledge, the tenant is still residing at the property in question. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right, Miss Brown, you've
Yes,
heard
sir.
you've heard the case against you so far. Here's your opportunity to defend yourself. Go ahead.
Let's go.
Okay, so I actually didn't move in June of 24. I actually moved in April 12th of 24. When I did move in, like she stated, it was some other issues. When I moved in, I had to pay 973 of I don't know why, but again, like she stated, I'm dealing with that situation as I speak. I had to pay $973, I guess, to move in the apartments. Um, and as far as in the notice, okay, let me start back. As far as in the credits, I have spoke with the corporation office. She stated that the credit was applied on to on in July for $224 because I overpaid previous to this situation. Okay, so I only have one notice that I received, and I picked this up in the office, which was gave to me on August 15th. It wasn't gave to me August 10th. Um, but at this time, it still have the 111 on there for July, and it still have the 452 on there for August. But I had already spoke to corporation, which she told me that I only owe 228 for August.
Hmm.
Okay, when I spoke to Miss Dashina, she's still telling me that I at the time she told me that I owe 608, but I had a credit applied which was 224, and I also was only supposed to pay 228 for the month of August, not 452. Again, like I stated, I didn't receive no other notices. I only got this one that I received from Miss Nay, which was on August 15th.
Okay. Did the corporate office, did they send you an email or anything confirming that you only owe 228 for August?
I have a video recording if that'll work.
What?
You have a video recording of the conversation?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Did you present that to Miss Green prior to today?
No.
no, you know she didn't do that.
Is there a reason why? Because that's part of your defense.
Well, at first I was trying to pay. I did try to take in a money order. Miss Green told me she wouldn't accept it. She needed all of the rent, which is the 452 for August, 452 for September, 452 for October. But I'm not understanding how I owe 452 for August, which I was already told that only a credit was applied of 224, and I only had to pay 228 from corporation.
So let me ask you this, Miss Brown. You let's say that the video does show that you owe that you had got a credit of 228 for August, right?
Correct.
So if we take 228 from 452, that still leaves what 200 and what $24 that you owe for
Well,
August.
the 224 was the credit, which will leave 228 for August.
Oh, so you actually owe 228 for August. So let's just say that you have this video that you got from corporate office. You never presented it to Miss Green, and let me ask you this next question. Did you attempt to pay the 228 for August prior to the notice to vacate expiring that you received on August 15th?
I took in, tried to take in the money order. She told me she wouldn't,
Okay.
she not accepting it. She want the whole payment.
All right. How long is this video?
I can get straight to the point
You
if
know
you
it's
need me
long.
to, or you can hear, Miss Lindsay told me that I need to pay.
All right, good. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you go ahead and summarize that, shorten that video up, and I'm just gonna go to Miss Green while you're doing that. Miss Green, uh,
Yes.
so
Yes, sir.
tell me a little bit more about, the defendant stated something in regards to her only owing 228 for August. Is that
Before she gets into the video, I mean, look at these little numbers that we're like going back and forth about. Like, it must be nice. Like, she's like meeting in the middle. Worst case is like, okay, well, you owe the $200. We ain't even really talking about nothing earth shattering here, but we're going through all this to the point to where like she's becoming a private eye and recording conversations and videos over $200. I just really wanted to put that into perspective. Ain't that something? We do all this aside from just get a job so you can get off subsidized housing.
any truth to that or any documentation you've seen in corporate office?
No, sir. The only thing that when I spoke with my corporate office was that Lindsay stated that she had a credit for July. Because in July, her rent was 111. So she did make, when she was making payments, she was making like $10 more payments on her past account. So once my manager took a look at it, she had a credit that covered her July's rent because she did not pay rent in July as well. So that credit covered her 111 July's rent with her late fees for July. So that was all that I was made aware that her credit was for. When speaking with my manager, she stated, but she still owes August to October's rent.
Okay. All right. Ms. Brown, let me hear this video.
Okay, yes, sir. I'm getting straight to the point. Sorry. Okay, this is Miss Lindsay and me and my conversation, which is corporation. $220 and your August rent hit for $452, leaving a $228 balance. You paid nothing. Charged a $30 late fee, and then your rent hit for September for $452, bringing your balance to $710. You paid nothing. Added a late fee of $29, bringing your balance to $739, and now your October rent has hit. So it's $1,191 that's for non-payment of rent for the last 3 months. Correct. So that's the recording right there. I can let you hear it again if you need to.
Go rewind it back a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
That was pretty clear. That's good evidence.
$228 balance you paid. Okay. I do the ledger and I clicked up all the weird on there. She said it was
I need to be able to hear her clearly because there's a part in there before you aired it or played it. I need to hear that part.
She said I think. Yeah, it looks like when you moved in, when I went back to the ledger and I cleaned up all the weird late fees and stuff that were on there. Everything was good and has been good, like I said, until August of this year when you stopped paying, basically. Correct. You had a credit of $224, and your August rent hit for $452, leaving a $228 balance. You paid nothing. It charged a $30 late fee, and then your rent hit for September for $452, bringing your balance to $710. You paid nothing. Added a late fee of $29, bringing your balance to $739, and now your October rent hit. So it's $1,191 that's owed, and it's for non-payment of rent for the last 3 months.
And Judge, the last time I actually spoke with her, that is the balance that I gave her plus the court fees.
So your manager told her that as of October, she owes $1,191. That is all of
Yes.
September all of September, all of October, and a portion of August.
Yes, sir.
But you're saying that she still owes the full amount for August, but that's not what your corporate office is telling her
Mm.
based on this recording.
Okay, but her balance is the $1,100. After she spoke with my manager, I still told her when she just last week when she walked up to me outside, your balance is 1,100, and I couldn't give her exactly what it was because we were outside, plus her court fees. So even with the balance of what her and my manager spoke of, and I wasn't aware of that, I still gave her only what this balance is. She still hasn't paid the rent. So I told her the balance that I have is $1,195 plus the court fees. And she said, "Oh, so about $1,300, give or take, is what you will owe, and that will bring your balance to a zero." And she said, "Okay, I'll bring it in before we go to court." I have not seen her since.
Okay.
So I can understand that even with what my corporate office made her understand that she owed, before she cleaned up her ledger, I gave her what was owed.
So next question, when did she's stating that she attempted to pay
She
what was
did not.
due prior to prior to the 30-day notice expiring. So
Mm.
she also swore to me that she came into the office and picked up the notice to vacate on 15th, meaning that you gave it to her. Somebody gave it to her on the 15th. All right. And if we go 30 days from the 15th of August, that leads all the way to September 15th. So the question is, did the tenant attempt to pay the amount that she owed, even if it was reduced from August, from August to September, which would have been right around $739? Did the
Oh,
tenant come in and attempt to pay that?
No, sir.
got it. So this got complex, but it just got simple at the same time. So what it's coming down to is timing, is what it appears. And basically, because after things have been filed, like, and you're actually going through the process and trying to get the rid of position, then you can no longer take the payment. But there are steps to this. So apparently they put the 30-day notice on her door, which is a 30-day notice of pay or vacate, right? So it seems like she tried to go and execute that option, or she's alleging that she tried to go and execute that option. And apparently they didn't want to take it at that point or take anything. But I could have swore I heard her say something about partial payments as well. So now we got to try to understand that. And it looks like she had a little bit of evidence to kind of sway the judge her way, but it ultimately is still going to be word of mouth, their word against hers as far as that, because now that's the sticking point in the case. Because see, and that's what I always say, man. It's so much red tape that the landlords have to undergo to make sure that they can smoothly go throughout this process. And it's usually very little on the tenants when it comes to what they have to do. And she's not paying, she's living good. All she had to do was put one little piece of doubt within this case, and all of a sudden it could stall things further, or maybe she could even win, and they may have to restart and try to do it correctly again. Who knows?
Sir. She
All right.
came in and asked us what her amount was each time she walked in the office. She did not have a money order in hand to pay at any given time she walked in this office.
And if she would have attempted to pay the $739 prior to the 30-day notice expiring, would you have accepted it?
If she would have had a money order in hand.
All right, Ms. Brown. So I need a little more. I heard you. Even considering the reduction in August, according to the plaintiff, which they have cameras all throughout that
Mm.
apartment complex. Did you have a
Yes,
money
sir.
order in hand? Did you have a money order in hand in the amount of $739 as of September the 15th of 2025? Going to the office to pay.
No, sir.
Okay.
Oh, you done messed yourself up. See, she done messed up now. She had them right where she wanted them. She did a good job. Shoot, I would have been like, well, that's semantics at that point, Judge. It wasn't in my hand, so the camera won't see it. It was in my pocket. Nah, she can't lie under oath. But shoot, I don't know if she's lied already, but dang, checkmate.
Okay. All right. Done deal.
It's a
All
wrap.
right. It's going to be a judgment against you, ma'am. The amount of $1,132 plus court costs, which is an additional $144. So, I'm ruling in favor for the plaintiff. You have the right to appeal. Appealing means you disagree with my decision and you want your case heard all over again by another judge in the court, which is the county court of law. In order for you to appeal my decision, you would have to post an appeals bond of $904. You have so many days to appeal the case. If you so you have it's pretty much roughly 6 days from today's date, counting
Oh,
weekends, to appeal it.
oh.
If you do not appeal it within the 6 days and you're still staying there at that unit, then Ms. Green can take the next legal actions against you, which is the filing of a writ of possession.
Oh.
If it gets to that point, the constable will serve you with a 24-hour notice to vacate. If you do not comply with the constable's notice, then they will be back over there to act as security. And then the maintenance personnel will be able to safely and peacefully remove all of your personal belongings from inside of the unit and place them outside of the unit. Do you understand?
Damn.
Yes, sir, but I do have a question. How much do I owe? Because I'm trying to figure out. I still don't know.
I cannot force them to take your money. So in regards to what you owe, you need to get with Miss Green if they want to accept your money. It's clearly up to them. But this is the judgment. So in regards to you paying and staying, that is something I have no control over. So usually once it gets to this point, there is no pay to stay.
Okay.
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 All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
What you doing?
It was a bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but it definitely like hit a peak and then hit a climax. Man, really put that into perspective. If only she'd have said she had it in her pocket. She shouldn't lie. And she would have had to prove that probably anyway, that she went and got the money order. But that was the difference between you having more time and possibly even them having to refile all over again and you having to be out in 6 days. Ain't that something? And still they granted the judgment. She was ordered to pay the $1,332 back, as well as about $144 in court fees. And they were awarded possession of the property, which means she has to get out. And keep in mind, she gets subsidized housing. So usually when you get evicted, that affects your subsidized housing, that affects your Section 8. You can never be on the program again. So, big mistake if you ask me. Shoot, it might have been worth it just to say you had it in your pocket. But nah, she shouldn't have did that. You got to be honest, especially in court. But yeah, that was interesting. That definitely escalated towards the end. I wasn't expecting that, and it had me on the edge because it was all going to come down to that question: did you have that morning order? If she'd have had it, the whole case would have fell apart. But y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it helps out more than you know. And then also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And because I am a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype than other channels. And hype was designed for smaller channels, and that's why we get more points. But if you do see a video and it doesn't have the hype button, it probably has been over 7 days, and hype doesn't stay longer than 7 days. So you gotta hype while the iron is hot. Typically a newer video, just go ahead and hype it. If you want to spend your hypes with me, you only get 3 a week. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.